Hello everyone, welcome back. It's been such a long period of time, okay, without having a proper explanation since I was giving you notes. Okay, so today we'll be dealing with chapter 5 in your geography portion, that is agriculture. Okay, so I want all of you to listen attentively, and everyone turn to page 150 and follow along with the explanation. Okay, so today in this chapter what you would be learning is you'll be learning about agriculture. Okay, three different aspects of economic activities which are performed by human beings. Okay, these three broad categories are: number one, primary activities; number two, secondary activities; and number three, tertiary activities. Okay, and the last point that we'll be learning today is the factors which influence agriculture. Okay, so what are the factors which influence human beings to do agriculture? Okay, we'll be learning about that as well. Okay, so we will be starting off. So when we say agriculture, agriculture is a very long age-old practice which is done by human beings in order to survive as well as in order to fill our stomach. Okay, not only that, it is also an important source of economic activity which is done by human beings. Okay, we do agriculture in order to feed ourselves, in order to fill our stomach, right? Because we cultivate crops. Okay, and so what we do is we consume it by ourselves, as well as when we do agriculture we tend to sell it to other places, so it becomes an important economic activity. Okay, so today agriculture is one of the most important economic activity which provides us with money. Okay, so when we say economic activity, it provides us with money. Okay, so now we'll be talking about the three economic activities which are practiced by human beings. Okay, so they are primary activities, secondary activities, and tertiary activities. Okay, we'll be looking into them one by one. Okay, so the first is the primary activities. Okay, here the extraction of raw material from Earth's surface. Anything which is there in the Earth's surface and we make use of that thing, then it comes under primary activities. Okay, so number one, see, for example, hunting. Okay, so during the early times human beings were so much into hunting because they didn't do agriculture. Okay, so they had to go from one place to another place in search of food. Okay, so hunting was also a form of primary activity because animals are in the earth's surface, so what are they doing? They are killing it and they are consuming it, so it becomes as a primary activity. Okay, so next is also fishing. Fishing is also another form. Okay, we catch fish, okay, which is also from the surface of the earth, okay, in order to feed ourselves, so that becomes a primary activity. The third point is mining. Okay, getting precious minerals such as iron, such as petroleum, okay, is also one of the primary activities. So when we say raw materials, these are the materials which we get it in the raw form, okay, from the earth's surface, that are all called as primary activities. Agriculture is also known as a primary activity. Okay, so I hope you got the point with the primary activities. Okay, so I'll just give you a reminder again. Primary activities, okay, are those activities in which we extract, okay, all the raw materials from the earth's surface. It will be in terms of hunting, fishing, agriculture, okay, getting minerals from the earth's surface. Okay, all these are included in the primary activities. Moving on, okay, we have the secondary activities. Okay, we have the secondary activities. Here in the secondary activities, okay, what we do is all the raw materials which we get, okay, all the raw materials which we get are made into finished products. Okay, so for example, okay, we don't get iron rod just like that from the earth's surface, right? So iron would be in this format, okay, it would be like stones. Okay, so what we do is that we can't use this iron just like that, right? We need to process it in an industry and then make things out of it, and then only human beings will be able to use it. Okay, so this process is called as secondary activities. Okay, getting the iron ore, that is a primary activity. Okay, processing it in an industry. Okay, processing in an industry so that it would be that they would be able to make a thing out of it. Okay, that is called as a secondary activity. Okay, see, at last you get the iron ore, that is the primary activity, and then you get it to the industry and then process it to make a final product, that is the iron rod. Okay, then it becomes as a secondary activity. Okay, so when we say secondary activities, all the raw materials, okay, are processed in an industry, okay, after which they are made into fine goods. Okay, another example I'll give you: cotton. Cotton is also grown in tree, right? We can't just take the cotton and make cotton clothes out of it, right? Directly from the field we'll bring and we'll make cotton clothes. It's not like that. Okay, you will extract the cotton, okay, and then you will take it to an industry, and then there they will start making it into a cotton thread, and then after which they will again supply this to garment industries, and the industries will make clothes as well as other materials out of it. Okay, and then it will reach to the market. Okay, that is called as secondary activities. All the raw materials, cotton is a raw material, okay, and then it is taken to an industry that becomes as a secondary activity. Okay, moving on, we have the tertiary sector or tertiary activity. Okay, so when we say tertiary activity, means transportation of all the goods that has been produced. First we have the primary sector, okay, the primary activity, so where there is using of raw materials. Second, you have the secondary activities where you will process it to make it into a fine product. Okay, so when we say tertiary activities, it means transportation of these goods. Okay, once you have your goods is being made in the industry, you need to transport it to a market, right? So when we say tertiary activities, it supports both primary as well as secondary activities. Okay, so it will transport the products to the market, okay, or it would reach to the market. And also banks, okay, banks also play important activity in the tertiary sector, okay, such as education, banking, transportation, and advertising of the material which is being produced is also a tertiary activity. Okay, so basically tertiary activity is about banking, okay, giving money to both the sectors, transportation of goods, okay, from one location to other, educating the people, advertising about the goods that has been produced. Okay, this all comes under your tertiary activities. Okay, next, agriculture. Okay, so agriculture is a primary activity, okay, which is done by human beings. Okay, the word agriculture has its origin from a Latin word called as ager, which means soil. Okay, ager meaning soil, and culture, which means cultivation of crops. Okay, or maybe cultivation. So when we say agriculture, it has been derived from two Latin words, that is ager, which means soil, and culture, which means cultivation. Okay, don't forget. Okay, moving on. Okay, so at the earliest point, okay, we are not sure about when agriculture officially started, but human beings, okay, the early humans were food gatherers, okay, they gathered food from the forest as well as they lived on hunting, okay. It was slowly when time progressed, people started settling down and they started doing agriculture in order to keep themselves alive, okay. And at present, the India's land cover, okay, 75% of India's total population, okay, is dependent on agriculture, okay. 75% of the Indian population directly or indirectly depends on agriculture, because it provides them with money as well as it provides them with food, okay. So the first factor, okay, which influence agriculture in India is relief, okay. Relief, when we say relief, it means the land areas where agriculture is done, okay. So mostly, okay, people tend to do agriculture in low-lying areas, okay. The place where crop is grown, it is known as arable land, okay, don't forget that. The place where we do or grow crops, it is known as arable land, okay. People prefer to do agriculture, okay. You can just see in the second picture, circled with red areas and red marks, okay. So people tend to do agriculture in these low-lying areas, okay, where the river brings a huge part of soil, sand and silt from the mountains when they flow down, okay, and they start accumulating in the low-lying areas, okay. And when they accumulate in these low-lying areas, like the one which is circled in the picture, okay, it makes the soil very fertile for crops to grow, okay. Example, it is a good soil, okay, where crops can be grown, okay. So these rivers, okay, which also provides water to the field, okay, which makes the crop grow very healthy, okay. So people prefer to do agriculture in these low-lying areas rather than cultivating crops in the higher regions, okay. Okay, moving on, we have the climatic condition, okay. So in order to grow crops, we need a very good climatic condition. For that, okay, hot and humid climate are the most favorable climate to grow crops, okay. And in the equatorial and tropical region, okay, any type of crops can be grown all throughout the year. It's not like they have a season, okay. They can grow crops all throughout the year in the tropical and the equatorial regions, okay. And also some of the conditions are, you can just see in the picture, those areas which have plenty of rainfall, okay, and the weather is also humid, okay, and hot, is very much favorable for cultivation. But in areas such as this, the second picture, cold regions which have snowfall all around the year, or maybe during a certain period of time, because the weather condition is very cold, okay, people are not being able to do cultivation in this kind of region, okay. And these areas, okay, areas which possess good climatic condition in terms of they have rainfall as well as hot weather, humid weather, okay, it is much favorable for growing crops in this region in terms of cold region, okay. Next we have the soil. What type of soil is more favorable for growing crops, okay. Soil not only provides life to the plants, but it also provides nutrients, okay. When they get nutrients, they start giving out crops, okay. So what kind of soil is needed for cultivation, okay. Porous soil, okay. Porous soil is soft and can be tilted easily, okay. So this is porous soil, okay. the second picture, this is porous soil. It is a type of soil which can be tilted very easily, which can be plowed very easily, okay, by any kind of instrument. And here agriculture is very nice in this kind of soil. And next, okay, we have the clay soil. Okay, clay soil has high moisture retentive capacity, okay, and it is also somehow good. Okay, next, the most fertile type of soil is the alluvial soil. Okay, alluvial soil is the most fertile soil which can be used for cultivation of crops. Okay, soil plays an important factor for growing crops because it is only through soil that a crop can be grown. Okay, so we need suitable soil, okay, so that it can be so that it will produce more crops. Okay, and it is not that they remain fertile all throughout the time of agriculture. Okay, during certain point of time, okay, they will lose its nutrients, they will lose its minerals. Okay, so what we have to do is we have to maintain the fertility of the soil, okay, by giving important care as well as needs to the soil, okay, so that our cultivation would be fruitful. Okay, moving on, we have the economic factor. Economy also plays a very important role. Okay, economy will be in terms of money. Okay, so when we have money, we need to buy our farm inputs. Okay, in terms of soil, in terms of water, in terms of machineries. Example, tractors. Okay, we need tractors in order to do cultivation, as well as we need fertilizers, as well as we need pesticides, so that our farm would flourish and then grow more crops. Okay, and the second factor is cheap labor. Okay, so when you have an agriculture area, people should be willing to come and work, okay, and not waste huge amount of money in paying them for their work. Okay, they should have a fixed amount for their work to be done. Okay, should not be very expensive in paying the laborers as well. There should be a fixed rate so that the owner would also not get wasted by paying the workers. Okay, there should be a fixed amount. Next, we should have transport facilities in terms of trucks, in terms of tractor, okay, so that after our crops has been cultivated, we will take these crops to the marketplace, or maybe to different locations. Okay, if we don't have transport system, then it would be useless for cultivating a huge amount of crop. Okay, so these are all playing a crucial role. Okay, so when you cultivate a huge amount of crops, you get money out of it because you sell it in the market, and only after which you will be able to own such kind of transportation, you will be able to own vehicles, you will be able to own chemical fertilizers and pesticides. Okay, so another important economic factor is the market. Okay, you can just see it in your last picture. Okay, there is a market. If you don't have a market to sell your product, okay, then growing huge amount of crops would be useless. Okay, because if you store it for a very long period of time, it will rot away. So you will need a market where you will be able to sell your products and in return get money out of it. Okay, so economic factor also plays a crucial role in agriculture. Okay, for selling and also bringing input to your farm by bringing machineries. Okay, when you sell products, only you will be able to bring inputs to your farm. Okay, in terms of transportation, in terms of heavy machineries to your agricultural field. Okay, that is all for today. We will continue with the next class. Okay, we will continue with the types of farming in your next class. If you have any doubts or if you have any questions, you can feel free to inbox me. Okay, thank you and have a nice day.